what do I, as an Irish person living in Indiana, eat on St. Patrick's Day? A lot of Americans would assume that I eat corned beef and cabbage. That is not a traditionally Irish dish. It is, as I discovered, an American Irish dish. To give you a bit of background on that, when I first moved here, everybody assumed I would eat corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day. I had not even heard of corned beef and cabbage before I had come to America. Corned beef to us is like a version of what Spam would be to you. I didn't even know of the version of corned beef that they eat here. We would eat ham and cabbage. That would be our traditional dish. And when I had done a bit of research as to why people eat corned beef and cabbage here, I find that when the Irish immigrants had started coming to America, they could not get their version of ham and cabbage, and they had substituted the ham for corned beef and cabbage. So that is where it came from. It is a traditionally Irish American dish, and that is why Americans thought that's what Irish people had. I thought it would be a nice nod to the Irish immigrants that came before me to have corned beef and cabbage. Oh my goodness, it is one of the best things I have ever eaten. So I have it now every St. Patrick's Day. I am a proud Irish immigrant, but I came to America in 2019 when we had FaceTime and we had flights home once a year. I mean, let's exclude COVID from that. If you think of the immigrants that came before me, many of them left Ireland knowing they would never go back to Ireland. They left their parents and brothers and sisters knowing they would never see them again. They left nieces and nephews that had never been born knowing they would never see them. For me, St. Patrick's Day is an opportunity to honor those people. They held so tightly to their traditions. That is why I live in America and I get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in such a beautiful way, because those immigrants held so tightly to their traditions and to their stories, and they held so tightly to their communities that their communities, even 200-300 years later, are still parading, are still playing their music and keeping those traditions of corned beef and cabbage. So for me as an Irish immigrant, that is why I have corned beef and cabbage every single St. Patrick's Day, and why I still cook it for my family every St. Patrick's Day.